Get out your money. We're going to Monte Carlo. Are you ready to gamble on advantage and disadvantage in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition? There were some questions about my advantage and disadvantage video, so I thought I'd do a little bit of a follow-up using Monte Carlo simulation. I thought about writing a program to do that, and then I thought, well, why not just use Excel? So this is the spreadsheet we had last time. The only difference here is with the normal chart, I started doing a ran between 1 and 20. Now this makes an assumption, which is a fairly reasonable assumption, that the random number generator in Excel is actually fairly accurate in that it doesn't have any funny artifacts to it. The other thing I did was expand the spreadsheet to do 10,000 rows. So I got 10,000 rows calculating the probability. And as you see, here's the normal chart as we plot it, just like before. So it comes straight in a straight line, and it's interesting to see how that worked. Now then, I did the same thing for disadvantage. So we come up here with disadvantage. This was 1 to 20 and so on. And then we did the same thing for advantage, which is the roll between. It calculates the hits, does everything just the same. Then this was what my deltas were based upon. We calculated this last time. So you know that I said that advantage was basically adding, or the equivalent of adding, a modifier based upon armor class. So let's do this one. This sheet here does that. So here's my modifier. Here's my roll. And my comparison, I said, is the armor class greater than the sum of the effective roll, which is 1d, plus the modifier across. So I do that for 10,000 rows also. So we get that. So I did that disadvantage and advantage. And this is the chart that we got for disadvantage. May look very familiar to those in the past. I made the scale show 5%, which is closer to the way dice work. And there's the armor class from 1 to 20. The advantage chart, this is both of these. If we click on here, we notice that it's going from the 10,000 rolls. So it's not just the calculation, it's actually using the Monte Carlo simulation. So then what happens is, this is the disadvantage chart. Notice that there are a couple of little blips, and I'll talk about them in a minute. And then the advantage chart, a couple of little blips also. So if we compare them all together, what do we have? So here's the normal line, as we'd expect. And then we take a look at what disadvantage does and what the disadvantage, what I'm calling disadvantage plus, which is calculating it based upon armor class. And here is the same thing with advantage and advantage with plus. The reason that we get the blips, if we go back to the advantage plus chart, is that it never comes up with values in between. It's either because we don't have any rounding error. We don't have any rounding. So what happens is that by going with the standard modifier, it causes the probability function to be more discrete. And as we see here, it's close. This number here is sort of in the middle, but this pushes it up higher. This one pushes it down a little bit lower, so on. So it's relatively accurate, in my opinion, based upon showing the calculation of what it does. There's minor variations with this is with 10,000 die rolls, or with the advantage and disadvantage is 20,000 die rolls because you have to roll 2 dice. So I thought I'd just follow up and show that numerically it is fairly accurate. you can, you know, I guess I could calculate the area between the curves, but that's more than I want to do tonight. So if this interests you, +1, give me a like on the video, and subscribe. It was interesting doing this calculation. Thank you.